Hello everyone. This is Disgruntled Elk with another hammer video coming off my, top 4 finish at the NRG 5K. Had a lot of fun, and this was the list I ended up settling on. I played a very slightly different list in the 5K, or in the team tournament, but I kind of like the direction of this. There is one difference actually. So in the list I ran, I had 2 Hollowed Fountains and 2 Sea Chrome Coast. But my friend and I noticed that both of us, against some of the Ren and 6 Beseiju decks, were running into the issue where they would keep Beseijuing us, and that was kind of their whole plan. And unfortunately, 2 Hollowed Fountains and 4 Plains cannot cast a Cauldron. Whereas if we get that 3rd Hollowed Fountain in here, then we do have the extra mana for the Cauldron, even if they Beseiju us into Oblivion. And so that's certainly a corner case. You don't have to do that. It's something I'm going to do because I like the ability to keep fetching lands even when they Beseiju a bunch. Other than that, I have the 2 skills in the main, 2 skills on the board. Down to 3 Hushbringers. I think 3 is fine. 4 color, I've seen a slight downtick recently, and I'd rather have the Spell Pierce for things like creativity, and Living End is always a problem. And it's also a pretty good card in the mirror. Because we have these Blacksmith skills in the main now, we have fewer cards that we're leaving in for the mirror, so I wanted kind of the extra Spell Pierce. This could also be another March, which I don't hate, but I think this is a good spot, and it's what we're going to run the league with today. So I will see y'all in just a minute when we hop into round 1. All right, and here we are for round 1. We are on the play, which is pretty rad. So this hand we're on the play, which makes this hand way more tempting. So we have turn 1 Aid into turn 2. I probably do play an Ornithopter, so if I spike a hammer off the Aid, then we're good to go. I like getting the Aid into play first in case they're a Spell Pierce deck. I think this is a keep, even though this would be a good 6 or 5. Obviously, the second Ornithopter, not as important, but I think this is pretty reasonable. It's not my favorite, but that's fine. So we're going to fetch up a basic Plains here. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. Then we're going to run this Ornithopter. I don't think I'm supposed to run the second one out, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. And of course, our plan is to start making constructs in the next couple turns. Lotus Bloom. Okay, we're against Ad Nauseum. This is an experience. All right. Not really what we want to see, but I don't hate it either. Inkmoth kills are really good against Ad Nauseum because they just don't care about the it doesn't care about the enchantment, Phyrexian Unlife, because they just get infect counters anyway, and they die that way. But hopefully we draw like a hammer here, or one of our million ways to get a hammer. We have 4 hammers, 4 Stoneforge, and the Steel Shaper gift left in the deck, so that's 9 additional ways, and we'll see. Is a Pentad Prism coming down? No, it's a Profane Tutor. So we do need to kill them like pretty fast. Okay, so not gonna play that. It's gonna shock this in. I actually am going to hit in for the 1 point of damage. I think it might make a difference. The only reason to not do this is if we think we're going to have to protect this Ursa Saga token, which it's possible we will. Ideally, we just hit a land here, or a hammer here, and kill them, but we'll see. Of course, the Giver can't protect itself. But yeah, so the only reason was to protect this Urza Saga, but we will see. With any luck, we'll just draw. But yeah, in this matchup, Lavinia is obviously quite good because it counters the Lotus Bloom and the Profane Tutors, as well as any of their 0 mana things. They also can't cast Ad Nauseum until they have at least 5 lands in play. She's really good against them, as is Spell Pierce, and then sometimes some number of Blacksmith skills. It's certainly a game 1 where I wish I had the extra Steel Shaper's gift instead of the... Okay, what you got for me? Oh, another suspended Profane Tutor. Okay. I don't think there's a big difference between the first one and the second one. We shall see. So they are holding up Angel's Grace here. Okay, not really what we want. Yeah, I think we're probably just getting a hammer here, putting it on likely the Ornithopter, and crashing in. Trying to think. I don't think there's a big reason to play the Pure Seal, so getting the extra hammer or the extra body into play might be the correct line. Obviously, if we had the Pure Seal in play, it's a different story, because then the hammer will draw a card and we could potentially spike another hammer off the top. So let's get a hammer, and we're just gonna throw it on the I will choose yes. And crash in for 15. What, turn 4? Yeah, so turn 5 kills a little bit slow against them, so is what it is. You could make the argument to, oh, you should have held up mana to represent Spell Pierce, but the opponent can't really play around it anyway, so I'm not too worried. Bluffs are only good when the opponent can choose to play around the bluff. It doesn't work too well when they have to go for it or die. I wonder what they're gonna get. I mean, we won't know. And so this hand was a little bit slow for game 1 against Ad Nauseum. Luckily, we have a lot of game 2. Tap Seachrome Coast. They should have everything because they literally demonic tutored. Okay, Phyrexian Unlife, you got it. Okay. Okay. So are we supposed to forge here? I wish one of my creatures had yeah, I mean, hit them with 2 creatures. The importance of a creature having first strike is it would knock them to negative life with the Phyrexian Unlife, and then we could hit them with a bunch of to deal lethal damage after that part resolves. All right, opponent, and we'll get a hammer here. Could get a Paradise Mantle as well. So I don't think Paradise Mantle does much. The consideration to get Paradise Mantle is we can then next turn go Pure Steel Paladin, play Paradise Mantle, draw a card, and then add 1, 2, 3. Probably works for me. If they don't kill us with 2 demonic tutors and a Phyrexian Unlife, maybe we're just having fun. League's Argonauts. Looks like we're dead. If they go for the Thassa's Oracle though, we do get to see their entire deck, which I think that is their deck, right? That's usually what they do. Please excuse me if I haven't. And I will grab a screenshot of this and I'll let them get the kill. Perfect. Moto crashed. Gotta love Moto. So is the 4th time a charm at letting us back into I'm not confident, but I'm gonna give it a chance. It looks like we don't get to sideboard. I think it might just crash again anyway. Yeah, it looks like it's crashing again. Okay, so the good news is we do get to keep playing. The bad news is we didn't get to sideboard. Yeah, this hand sucks. If we had any way to equip, I would keep this hand. I think we have to keep this and hope to spike a ham. I'm fine with that. Bottom Cauldra, bottom land, and done. We'll shock that in. Yep. Let's see if we can pull this one out. My hopes are not high, but they are hope. Okay. Okay. This is a redraw. It's a redraw, so I'll take it. Could be worse. Remember, this is our game 1 configuration against our opponent's game 2 configuration, so I'm also not like super sad about it. All right. And I will protect the Pure Steel Pen. Okay. And hopefully we hit another. Okay, so they drew Lotus Bloom for turn, or they would have suspended 4. Very good chance of that. Not really what we want, but I'll get in for 2 points. They also didn't have a second land. This is interesting. Yeah, so hammer off the top does it next turn. I will play this, equip here, but not to, and I'll play out a second giver. Hammer or a gift or 4 stone. So we have 9 outs to just kill them this turn. Okay, okay. Angel's Grace won't save them against an Inkmoth kill either because they do still get the infect. And then when we pass turn to them, game state checks. They have 11 infect and boo here. All right, that should do it, right? And I will just do this now. All right, not bad for our our multi 5 on our game 1 configuration. Cool. So let's see if we actually get to sideboard for game 3. That's exciting. This is a journey. I'm glad y'all are here on the journey with me. So the Pierces are very good because they are trying to cast a 5-mana spell. I guess they're not necessarily trying to cast Ad Nauseum anymore. A lot of times it's Spoil the Vault, so maybe. I do like Teferi because it also shuts off any suspend spells because they can't cast it during their upkeep. March is also pretty good. Hushbringer in some number of good, so maybe we don't need this, honestly. I don't think Cauldra is where we want to be. We don't want to get that grindy, so we can cut the chip. We can cut a couple Ornithopters, probably. We probably don't need the Shadow Spear because lifelink is not relevant at all. Obviously, there are spots where the trample could be relevant, but I don't think those are the spots we're playing towards. I'm fine cutting a fur, probably. I think I'm fine cutting a couple skills, and we're on the draw, so I don't hate trimming some scent. Well, so we get to bring back in. Yeah, I think we go light on protection other than the givers, and instead just play like Hate Bears because Lavinia and Teferi mean they can't do their suspend spell. Hushbringer means Thassa's Oracle can't win, and March can kill a lot of stuff. That's kind of the card I'm most questionable on. It can kill a the Pentad Prism. It can kill, obviously, the Lotus Bloom and maybe a couple other things. I think on the draw, I'm fine being a little more yeah, whatever, we'll try it. YOLO. Man, if this was a Plains or a White Source, I would probably keep. but this hand to mulligan, unfortunately. This hand is good. We have the turn 1 Marsh Flats for a Hollowed Fountain, play Springleaf Drum, and then turn 2 we can go Lavinia. So we are probably bottoming the Inkmoth Nexus. It had two, it's either Inkmoth or Saga, and I'm pretty sure it. Turn 1 here. Okay, Lotus Bloom, you got it. Bad one. And I will, of course, shock that in. It makes it more likely that we have all of our mana. And keep in mind, one fun interaction is, since this casts during their upkeep, if you march it before they get to move to their draw step, it could win you the game because they don't get to carry them. So hopefully we had a colored source here. That would be great. We didn't, which is fine. So I'll just play this Stone out here. And the question is, what are we getting? I don't hate getting Paradise Mantle here, but I'm inclined to believe. I think we get a hammer here and cast the hammer. Because we have the additional hammers in hand, this means that if we have a Paladin off the top, then we get to double hammer, potentially. Stopping their upkeep. Look at this fast mana base. Okay. We do have the, yeah, so I'm not going to care about the, like attacking with the Stone Forge probably. We're just gonna cast, or I'm not gonna care about the construct is the words I mean to say. I think we're just gonna get in there, yeah. And of course, marching a Lotus Bloom costs just the single white, and so that's if they have the answer to Lavinia, right? Otherwise, this is just gonna get countered anyway. Trigger. So even if that had stuck, we could have marched it for just single white here. All right, Equipper, please. I will make a construct here since we need kind of a big boy here. The question is, what are we getting? I don't hate just getting it here. It's either a Ginger Brute or another Hammer or a Springleaf Drum. And I don't hate any of those, but I think, it's also, I sweat that much about it. Hold Arid Mesa up. Attack for 4, I guess. Obviously, any Equipper is a fantastic draw here. I would have loved a Hushburner as well. Also would have been just a truly delightful thing. We shall see. And I do think I will fetch here. Very little reason not to. Okay. Okay, so if we attack here, we get to go for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a 2-turn clock regardless of whether or not we play the hammer. So I don't think we play the hammer. I think we just attack. I think we're actually going to hold up the Giver, because holding up the Giver means that we can march the Phyrexian Unlife, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're just gonna crack in with everything, because I don't think the Giver is doing much this game. Not when it's you know, turn 6. Yeah, so we shall see what they do. Could be close. All right. Okay. So this is still a 2-turn clock. They're just not dead this turn. Land. Now can we play out the Giver? We can play out the Giver. There's probably very little reason not to. If they're a Spell Pierce deck, totally be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's super bad. But like, they can't Pact Negation either. I'm just gonna, this also means that even if they like kill the Lavinia, then we have lethal. I like it. I like it. Okay. So we didn't get to sideboard for game 2. Still got them. And we got game 3. So I'll see y'all in round 2. See if it is less of a comedy of errors. All right, we are back for round 2 against Black Dragon. So we are on the play with Esper Sentinel, multiple Equippers. We're just missing a hammer, but we also have Blacksmith skill. On the play with Esper Sentinel is very good as well. I think I'm going to keep this. We also have Metalcraft almost. Like, this hand is just so close. We just need a hammer, and we have quite a few hammers in this deck. Like, I would even take a Urza Saga right now. What was me? I drew Urza Saga. Okay. And it looks like we're playing against probably Izzet or Breach. Those are kind of the 2 decks. All right, so we draw a card. Ginger Brute's not a bad one. You got it. Anything else interesting? Oh man, they are just comboing. That's a combination. Mishra's Bauble and activating Mishra's Bauble. We got a Splinter Twin situation. Ornithopter. Ooh, okay. So I think we just go Plains, Ginger Brute, Sigardizade, Ornithopter, attack for 1. Is there a reason not to off there as well? Probably not. Yeah, because now if we draw a hammer, we truly get to quote-unquote go off by killing them. Whack. And so here is kind of a spot where you can see that this matchup can be a problem for them, just because now we can play at instant speed. And we have a potential lethal threat in the Inkmoth. As soon as we draw a hammer, right? Or if we draw a Saga, the game gets really out of control really fast because we start making constructs that they can't really interact with, especially game 1. It's really just dress down board that gets you. And so we are not going to run anything into that. I am probably just going to play out my planes, and I think we're just going to attack for 1 here. There's no reason to let them just actually cash in this counterspell. I'm fine. I'm fine with this. I'm ahead on board. If we're not letting them cast their reactive spells, then it also means it's harder to do things like Murktide. Yeah, just making it to where they can't use their things like Counterspell, like Archmage Charm, by not playing into them is really, really... Okay, Monkey. Okay, so they have Counterspell. Got it. So with any luck, we draw a hammer. That's not a bad one at all. I actually really like that. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna pass because we can block with the Ginger Brute. Wow, this is really good. Yeah, no attack. Okay, so here I might cast Reality Chip. Kind of like that. Actually, I guess I'll let them resist, not let them know what's gonna happen. And of course, we have the Blacksmith skill up. Okay, so they bend it. So yeah, I'm just cast this. I'm doing this now because obviously this can't be spell pierced and it can't be, I am going to fetch now, which is actually perfect because I would love to just be anyway. Okay. Yeah. So if they were going to do this, they should have responded. And so now if we get to untap, we're just in really, really good shape, right? Like obviously they could have a lot of things going on. It also, I want to note, does not matter if they steal the Ornithopter because we can still just cast spells. I think I'm going to let them hit me with this because I don't want to draw the Sigarda's Aid. Obviously this gives them some more mana. Okay, I don't really want that either. Opponent, would you like to cast Sigarda's Aid? You can have that. And hopefully we just rattle off like a land and some spells and some lands and just kind of overwhelm them. And obviously I put this on the Ornithopter instead of Ginger Brute because the Ginger Brute I'm much more likely to actually block with than the Ornithopter. So I'm diversifying the things they Ledger Shredder. Are they going to cast Sigarda's Aid to get the trigger? Looks like which we can absolutely beat them. How many did they? 3, 4, 5. That's a lot. That's a big boy. Maybe we'll just go hammer and shock it. Okay, that's a spell we can cast. That's a good one. So are they dead? They are not dead technically. We can, well actually, so hold up. We go cast hammer with the ink, target the Ginger Brute. They bolt it. We Blacksmith skill. It becomes a 3/3 with the 10. So that's Xaxes. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, if they have Spell Pierce, that's I will pay because we can always just drop the Paladin and then yes, okay. And we're not dead to a crackback. That's 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's not even dead to a crackback. And yeah, I mean, trying to think if there's a reason to use it now. I feel like I'm supposed to use it now and just kill them. But it is very close. They'd have to have Archmage Charm, which we can skill anyway. I'm just gonna, okay, they're dead. Sweet. All right, Ginger Brute. Cookie monster, let's do this thing. Who needs an invisible stalker when you just have an unblockable cookie? All right, so post-board against them. The downside is now that we have 2 Blacksmith skills in the main, we just bring in almost nothing against them. So yeah, Needle for the EEs, and then Blacksmith skill, their points of interaction. Board out probably 2 Ornithopters. Always consider boarding out the 3rd. And then don't think we need the Steel Shaper's Gift. I don't mind having the extra 0 drops. Could like trim 1 Spell Pierce or something, but I think, all right. Let's see how game 2 goes. All right, what we got, opponent? Well, we have an unkeepable hand. This is very key. And I think we throw back the Ornithopter here. This is a game where I am tempted to just jam the Sigarda's Aid, but because we have the Paladin, yeah, the Esper Sentinel, obviously, the sooner it gets down, especially against a spell-heavy deck like blue-red, the better it is. We shall see what happens. Because we can always just go Stoneforge for a hammer with the Urza Saga, and then we can, oh, a light blue splash, or a light white splash. Interesting. Okay, yeah, sure. So they took 2 damage. Let me draw a card. Okay, well that makes me feel better too, because now we can potentially just jam a second Sigarda's Aid if they first one. We're just gonna go a hammer here. It is nice to note that this is even less likely to Blood Moon us than a normal Murktide. And obviously a land off the top would be phenomenal. Be super about that. Expressive Iteration is a good one. So they likely have Prismatic Ending. That is likely the card that they're splashing white for. They could also have like Teferi in the sideboard, but certainly Prismatic Ending is the card that I would expect them. Okay, so they will have Delirium here. They will attack for 3. This is usually, if Murktide beats Hammer, this is usually kind of the start that they have the Dragon Rage into interaction into a quick Delirium. So Islet is Stoneforge dead as well. Alpine Moon, gross. Gross. So if we do hit a land here, we are in. Okay, so now that I've seen Alpine Moon, I will bring in some marches. Land one time. I don't hate it. I will take that. And I'm not blocking. If they've been to Ragavan, so if they have another Ragavan, I'm content with that. Yeah, so a non-Urza Saga. Oh boy. So they have like Murktide plus Counterspell up. That's pretty good too. Gross. Jeez. Okay, I get it. You don't like getting hammered. So kind of seeing Wear Tear and Alpine Moon, I'm also more inclined to play Summoner Burst Spell Pierce. Jeez. Well, I'm glad we have this second aid. Sheesh. All right, let's try it again. All right, opponent. Well, we're not attacking this time. It is nice that they are almost dead, assuming they don't have an answer to the Sigarda's Aid as this turn as well, quite easily. Okay, so they have Wear Tear, they likely have Prismatic Ending, they have Alpine Moon. We shall see what they have. Well, that's not, means that card is probably one they, okay. They exiled Bauble, that's a good one. That's a good one for sure. I don't know why. Steam Vent. What else are we throwing in the trash? Misty Rainforest makes sense to me. A land would be specifically not Urza Saga. I guess honestly land doesn't, but I'll take that. I think we're supposed to hold. I mean, if they, so we can't beat a Lightning Bolt anyway, right? So yeah, we probably attack with Ornithopter, put a hammer on it, hope they have nothing. No, we do this because then the Fiery Eye can't even attack. Doesn't look good for us. I'm ready. My body is ready to concede. Oh, yeah, I mean, you're supposed to let me. I will target the attacking creature. Surprise, I know. Unholy Heat, okay. So if we draw a 0 off the top, we're still in. Really funny, honestly. Yeah, obviously, if we had any point of interaction at any point this game, would have been in good shape. We didn't. So let's see if they found a lightning. Okay, I'm definitely going to bring in the Marches. Kataki is an incredibly overrated card against him. I'm going to die here, but it's very little to do with the Katakis. So they're just like a Jeskai. I'm less excited about Cauldra, but I do like the Marches a lot. I think we can trim at least an Thopter, and because we are bringing in more things like March and Blacksmith Skill are both great at kind of being one mana piece of interaction. March obviously less so, but being able to keep skill up is pretty good. I like being able to answer the Marches because a lot of their hate pieces are in fact like actual hate pieces. They're permanents rather than spells. Obviously Wear Tear is very good, but I mean, what are you gonna do when they draw Wear Tear in multiple pieces of action? It's really tempting. I have a lot of trouble throwing. Okay, obviously the Cauldra kind of sucks, but we have a turn 2 equipped Ginger Brute, and I'm gonna lead with the actually I will lead with the and I'm doing this because I don't want them to just go like land, Prismatic Ending, the Sigarda's Aid bolts. They are not. Okay, so we do get to suit up the Ginger Brute. All right, you guys, they get a redraw. They did bolt to 6 this game. Okay, well, I'm gonna play Urza Saga here. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it very, very simple. They should block here, assuming they don't have a removal spell. That's another story altogether. All right, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do this. Like, if I'm not kind of scared of what they can do. So if they kill my things, they kill my things. But we can't just let them have a Ragavan in play and trade our Ginger Brute. Not where we want to be. Hey, I should have been paying attention to what fetches they played, because some people just like one specific fetch and play 4 of, and that can be relevant for Needle, because sometimes you do that. Okay, so they are considering. Don't hate where we're at. They're binning another Ragavan. Okay, that's a lot of Ragavans post-board on the draw. I feel like there are other things you could trim. I could totally be wrong. Kind of my thought. It's not a bad one either. So we will play our land pre-combat, and I'm just gonna crack in for a casual 11. Yeah, Paladin was obviously a really because now we get to make a construct, and then we have a creature we can equip to, even if they because otherwise they kill the Ginger Brute. And I will shock. They kill the Ginger Brute, and then we don't have a creature that can attack the same turn, but now we're able to make a construct. Paladin comes down, and I got the Hollowed Fountain there because I might need blue. I don't think the 2 points are going to matter, and this way, if we draw like Chip, then we can just cast it because we don't have a drum. What did we board out? Did we board out the drum or the mantle? I think we boarded out the mantle. Right? That's one of those things where I'll just kind of do what feels correct, and sometimes it's drum, sometimes it's mantle. All right, yeah, sure. For 1. All right, so we're gonna try to kill them with Strux, I guess. They should be popping this now, by the way. Not. I will make a construct. Okay, popping it now. That's smart. Good job, opponent. Okay, so now we We float a mana, go get a hammer, play the needle, play paladin, they die. Float, 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 hammer, play a needle. We will name You're Already Dead. You're ambushed on the road? I didn't know that was a card. Oh my gosh. Yes, you are ambushed on the road. Surprise. I've never gotten a name You're Ambushed on the Road, but all right. I didn't know that was a card. That must be from the D&D set. That is sick. And I'll see y'all in round 3. All right, we are back for round 3. We're on the die roll. Or we're on the play. We won the die roll. Oh, with a whopping 2. And of course, we're on the play. Let's see what happened. I had a long week at work. So my apologies if I'm a little loopier than usual, but here's hoping. And because now on Moto, when you like start like when you try to find game, it just throws you into the game as soon as you've joined rather than you have to click join. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of kind of a wait time when you actually hop in, because a lot of people like myself will just click start, go get some water or whatever. So they're a Yorion deck. So hopefully we have a good hand. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so after about 4.5 minutes, we are seeing our opening hand. I mean, this is a very powerful hand. We get to go turn 1, Hallowed Fountain, Giver of Runes, Ornithopter, and then we can go Aid Hammer. I think we keep. I like being able to hold up the Giver for the Ornithopter. Yeah, just shock that in, baby. Let's do it. Yeehaw. All right, opponent, what you got? All right, we killing the Giver of Runes here would be my guess. Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Whew. Almost clicked through. Glad we didn't. All right, what you got? It's like, I don't know. This is what I came here to do. It could also be a white-blue control deck with Yorion in it, but we'll see. If it is, then we'll approach it slightly differently. And we'll hope to draw, honestly, Urza Saga. Urza Saga here is probably the best draw we could hope for. Okay, Temple Garden, so it could be a lot of things. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'll go get a land. We got our 10 damage in, though. They're at 5. All right, not really what I want to see, but whatever. No attacks, unfortunately. All right. And I don't think I fetch here because we do have Reality Chip in our deck. And I am just going to get in there for 1. Oh, my lord. We have so many lands in play. All right, what you got? What you got? All right, Teferi. Sure. Yeah, you got it. I will certainly fetch at least once. I'm supposed to, but I'm not. 2 chip. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, so let's start there, I guess. Obviously, we can't cast any flash, so yeah, I'll put it there. Just remember, kids, chip is a scam. I don't think we play the Marsh Flats. I think fetch here. Obviously, get a Plains. That's the only target. All right, and play the Giver and pass the turn. All right. And we do get to like very safely grab Cauldron with the Stoneforge, which is nice as well. Opponent kind of has to do a lot of different things, and they're only at 4, so we almost have lethal in play currently. Okay, take up Teferi. Makes sense to me. Teferi in play is definitely an instance where Giver of Runes is notably better than Spellsmith skill, obviously, because you can use Giver and it is kind of funny because since they Besage'd us and we've drawn a ton of lands, it means that even if they like hit the Ornithopter, then we can move the Besage'u. Okay, give her down. You got it. Couldn't do much about that anyways. What you get? We have another Besage'u. Could be a March. All right, well, I'm going to try to kill my opponent. Get us a Colossus Hammer. Woo! Okay, cool. There we go. Despite drawing what felt like a billion non-Urza Saga lands, still got there. Oh, cool. Are we crashing? No, we're not. Awesome. All right. So I don't hate Needle, but I certainly like their Besage'u deck. So I don't want to bring in all 3 because I'm not convinced they are heavy on like Solitude and Fury because we didn't see Ren in 6. It could just be Bant. That doesn't seem good, is what it is. I do like the Blacksmith skills, obviously. I like at least a couple of the Hushburners. I'm not going to bring in quite as much as I normally would, just because I don't for sure know what they're on, and we're up a game, so that makes it easier. We can bring out at least 3 Ornithopters. We can probably bring out the Drum since they are a very grindy deck. Oh, they apologize for waiting. No problem. And then I'm okay trimming a Steel Shaper's Gift here. We don't know they're a Ren in 6 deck. You gotta really trim down on our zeros, make sure all our spells are a little more high impact than ordinarily would be. Because I like all these other cards from there. All right, I'm fine with this. Yeah, if I had seen more like any elemental things, I would have been higher on like these things. Man, this hand's so close, but I don't think we can keep it. Ah, perfect, even better. All right, yeah, cool. So we need bottom 2. I think we bottom a land and probably chip. So I am just gonna go Sigarda's Aid here. If they kill it, they kill it. That's fine. If they don't kill it, then that's also fine. And so next turn, we're definitely grabbing a Hallowed Fountain with the Windswept Heath, and we're probably going a Stoneforge, and I don't know what we're grabbing yet. We will see. We shall see. That first hand was obviously close because there's a Saga is Nuts, but the second hand, obviously, like, still no white sources, and it wasn't even Urza's Saga, it was Inkmoth Nexus. Like, no, throw it away. You can do better. Like, this 5 was better than either of the other two. Okay, so they don't have Counterspell. I am intrigued. And they 1000% have a removal spell. So I might still get Reality Chip, though, because it is a flash creature. Nah, we're just... It's real hard not to Ultra here, especially since we have the hammer, right? It makes things a little bit easier. Okay, it's dead. All right, hopefully we just hit a land, right? Like that's what we want. But we shall see what we get here. They could have a Teferi, which I wouldn't be super, also wouldn't be the most broken up thing. Paying costs. Do they have like Beseiju? Is that what it is? Some Moto lag issues. So they grabbed Windswept Heath. Yeah, I mean, play Stoneforge. And I think we grab a hammer here. It's like, don't spell snare me, bro. I think we get a hammer here. See if they tick down the Wrenn on the Stoneforge. If they tick the Wrenn down on the Stoneforge, then they do, and that's fine. Or on the Memnite, then it dies, and that's fine. But it means they're not getting the extra card next turn, and kind of course, if they don't, then we have a very good shot to just win. And they kind of have to kill the Stoneforge as well. So if they have a removal spell, they're definitely supposed to. Okay, so they're Delirium, yeah. Which this should have tipped me off, but like Mishra's Bauble certainly is the dead giveaway. I wonder what we're drawing. I hope it's, and of course this Cauldra is also a problem. Yep, okay. All right, the Windswept Heath we knew about. Spell for that too, sure, why not? Why not? So many removal spells for the top 12 cards of their 80 card deck. I wonder, maybe I should have gotten the chip. Obviously, I just want to draw a land. I will also take a 1-drop creature or a land or any creature in the deck. My guess is they might Seiju? I don't draw a card on my upkeep. Did they bobble themselves? Okay, no, they targeted up. It must be a good cry. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Any creature or a land. Let's see what we... Okay. It's not my favorite thing, but at least we get to take out the Teferi, and they have to tick down the Wrenn again, right? And I will play out the 8. If we had a land, been real good, for sure. All right. What you got for me, friend? All right. Yep. Tick down the Wrenn again. Makes sense. Windswept Heath. That is one we did not know about, though. Honestly, whatever. We got to use our mana. It's possible I should have waited 1 turn, because then we do get to hold up Hammer to draw a card and protect the Pure Steel. Probably correct. Guessing they don't have a removal spell right now. If they do, it's a different story. Okay. This has been a weird game. They heat. Obviously, these are obnoxious. Super what it. Like, we're ahead on board. We have a couple redraws and hammers. Do they have a removal spell for the Paladin? Okay, sure. That's, like, if they want to grab Beseiju every turn, I'm fine with that. We will just Cauldra them. Okay. Probably start with hammer, right? Start with a hammer, see if we draw a card. I think they only own hammer. Okay. I think I just like Stoneforge here. And I will get a Reality Chip. You could also get a Shadow Spear. Nothing matters because they just Beseiju everything, right? Not gonna put a ton of thought into it. I think it's the Reality I will get. This is hard to say. It's definitely either Chip or Shadow Spear. I think I will Shadow Spear. And I will not attack. I care too much about this palette. Are you going to Beseiju? If they're going to, they should. They should do it right now if they are. Doubt, so we don't blacksmith skill them. But we shall see. Okay, so just nothing. Just holding up Beseiju. We know about at least Beseiju in their hand. I think Beseiju and Fury is pretty gross. That's real gross. Okay, well, we will be bringing in the full 3 Hushbringers. All right, yeah. And then probably just go like Steel Hammer. So now that I know what we're facing, instead of just kind of weird Teferi deck, we can obviously sideboard a little cleaner here, like trim a couple Esper Sentinels, definitely trim the Memnite, I think, throw the extra Lavinia in there, probably the Needle, definitely the extra, so we'll trim probably just the Memnite, probably a Memnite. Ooh, okay, yeah, whatever. Are we Besaging? Yes, we are. The Saga, maybe? Okay. Note if they were doing that. Tap, that's fine. And so this is the exact reason why, obviously the Fury being in play kind of changes things, but this is the exact reason why I added the extra Hollowed Fountain, because like we are legitimately very close to grab Windsweep. They have another Besaju in hand. Okay. We are getting some real hate today. Wear and Tear out of blue-red. We got the Force of Vigor, the Besaju loop going. Yeah, you got it. So we probably just lead with Chip this turn. Take 6, 7. Okay, just 7. I will not block. I don't think they have Besaju. No, Besaju's in the yard. Okay, start here. And of course I didn't play the land because it equipped the Chip to some to the Paladin. We'll be able to. Yeah, I will draw a card. Jeez. Deck. Why? I don't want them. I will get a basic plane. The stops. Why they're... Keep in mind, they only have 8 minutes left, so it's possible they just go to time. Yeah. What do we get on? Oh my gosh. So I think I'm gonna just bounce the Ice Fang Coatl. Maybe. If we bounce that, we can attack them down to 8. I think this is the line we have to, and then we block the Fury with the Chip. This sucks. And we're drawing a Seachrome Coast. Alright, well at least that's a spell. Alright. Hopefully they Besage me, because I don't want that card. And I would also like to be Ren. Okay, so the reason I attack them instead of the Ren is because the Ren doesn't die. And okay, yeah. Duh, I'm stiff. Okay, so they did just have another Besage. That's what it was. Okay, so they just attack us for lethal. I probably should have made them do it. Okay, so they did have second Besage. So Hushbringer, 1000%. Especially Lavinia is certainly coming in, especially now that we know about Force of Vigor on the Furies and the Solitudes. Fine, trimming that. Oh, okay. I trimmed 2. So we can keep. I think I'm okay with this. I don't hate like a needle for a potential Ren, or think this is correct. All right, let's try it out. 4-color Delirium. 4-color Delirium, because the normal 4-color decks didn't have enough Modern Horizons 2 cards in them. All right, we are back for the game 3 of round 4. All right, opponent. I mean, they can certainly win in, but if the game drags on for a long time, they might not. That is a real thing. That's a real problem with the 4-color deck from like playing with it perspective, because especially in paper, like, things just get very problematic. Well, okay, we have Giver into Hushbringer or Giver into Stoneforge. Yeah, I'm super down with that. Now the question is, do you go Giver into Stoneforge into Hushbringer or Giver into Hushbringer into Stoneforge? Because obviously you don't get the trigger. I am a fan of going Giver into Stoneforge because 1, we get the trigger, and 2, that way we get to hold up Blacksmith skill on the Hushbringer. So shock that in and pass the turn. Yeah, I like going to get a Cauldron with this Stoneforge, and then the following turn play Hushbringer, and hold up Blacksmith skill probably. This is one of the reasons I like Giver so much, because it lets you deploy threats and use your mana proactively rather than reactively. I don't know about 4 Givers, but I like 2 or 3. Good number, because obviously there are where you don't want Giver like at all. Okay, so we're down to 6 minutes on the opponent's clock. Let's see how this plays out. I'm gonna pause while we wait. Okay, so after tanking, they played a Rogren Triumph. All right, so let's go get a basic plains. I did get to, that's exciting. All right, yep, let's go get a Cauldron. Do you have multiple removal spells, opponents? That's what this start is asking you for. If we hit a land, I'm definitely just gonna play Hushbringer and hold up Blacksmith skill. If we don't hit a land, I will probably just go Cauldron. All right, yeah, check that. Should have gone white, but it's fine. Okay. All right, land 1. I'm not even picky. Any land in the... Okay. Yeah, I like this. And I will not attack because they can evoke a creature and then it won't sacrifice because the triggers won't happen. And then they get to eat the Stoneforge. So I will give up the 1 point of damage to hope to get this Cauldron online. But I think getting the Hushbringer online before they even have 2 mana is really, because that means they can't get any value out of their Coatls. They're definitely not a Risen Reef deck, but they can't get value out of their Coatls. They can't get value out of any potential pitched Furies. They're also down to like sub 5. And obviously holding up the Blacksmith skill is good here. Oh, they are a Risen. Okay. Cool. Let's get in there. Cauldron, baby. And I will for 6. They have to, because Hushbringer is easier to attack with than Stoneforge because they have to have exactly Endurance or I guess Subtlety, because those are the ones that can block a flyer, obviously. 6, go to 13, and they're dead in 2 turns, effectively, especially since they will likely have to fetch in order to to actually do anything. Teferi Time Raveler. So we do have to Blacksmith skill in response here, but I don't think we have to. Okay, so they're bouncing the Cauldron. So now we get to take out the Tef probably, and we also will be able to Metalcraft up soon. So I think we just send both. Just get them off the table so this Blacksmith skill is live again. Oh, Urza Saga, now that it can't be killed by basically anything. And I will just, so the consideration here is you can go Pure Steel. Pure Steel, so we're holding up Blacksmith skill, 1000%. And I think we're supposed to Sentinel plus Giver plus Blacksmith skill, because they're a weird configuration because they're a Delirium deck and they're also Risen Reef. I don't know if that's stock now, but I can't imagine it is. I like getting the extra protection out with the Giver, and because of that, I think we play the Esper Sentinel as well, because now we have 2 artifacts. So if we hit another 1-mana artifact, then we can play Paladin and equip the Cauldron and likely kill them. So this is probably just grabbing a Triumph or a Shockland to not take the extra damage, because if it's not doing that, if they're shocking something in to like kill a guy, they should have done that prior to the Esper Sentinel resolving. But yeah, let's see what else the opponent's got. This is an interesting configuration. This is kind of just an amalgamation of everything. Prismatic Ending, absolute. Let's see if they pay for the Esper. So now that we know they can't Blacksmith skill, or they can't pay Counterspell, we get the Hushbringer online. And so this is why we played out the Giver, right? Because now there isn't a turn that goes by where we don't have some layer of protection on the Hushbringer, and it's so hard for them to actually with a Hushbringer in play. That's fine. Give me a land or an art. Okay. So we can, I'm fine like attacking. I don't think we want to trade off with the Risen Reef, but I'm fine attacking with these two. I think we can start by just attacking these two, likely put them to 10. It is very tempting to play this Lavinia as well. Kind of like it, Okay, so now they can't evoke even if they kill the Hushbringer. So I don't know. We're asking a lot of tough questions for the opponent. What you got? Fairy? Omnath, sure. It does nothing. And so now Paladin should finish the game because we go get 1/2 artifacts. We go get a hammer with the Urza Saga here after floating a mana. I do want to note that they can in fact Besage us because the Omnath is legendary, but straight up that's I'll lead with this. And the important part comes first. We're gonna put it right here. Now I'll put it here, put this here, and then I don't think there's a risk now. There was the reason to not do it. Oh my gosh, we're only in round 3 of these games. I'll see y'all in round 4. All right, we're back for round 4, but like really round 4 this time. We're on the play again. That was great. Everything's great. Hope y'all are enjoying the content. I want to keep it so bad. They're a Yorion deck. We have Giver into Stoneforge. We also have Esper Sentinel on turn 1. I think it's a mulligan because we don't have a way to equip. If we had a way to equip, I would snap this hand off and just draw a land like a good player would. This hand's fine. I will keep, and I like the chip because it is mana for, I think it's his drum, honestly. Yeah, just turn 1 drum, turn 1 aid, turn 2 chip off of probably Saga. Oh no, we could go turn 1 aid. So we're putting back so we fetch shock, play aid, fetch shock, play aid, and then next turn we're gonna play the Ink Moth because then the hammer can present a lethal threat on turn 3, unless they just like Prismatic Ending this now, in which case that's fine. Looks like what's happening, because I don't know what else they would get Hollowed Fountain for. Yep, that's a death. Okay, so we're gonna audible to the Saga plan now. All right, Reality Chip is a body. Okay, so we're definitely drawing a land next turn, which that's fine, I guess. Do you have like Beseju for the chip? Abundant Growthing here, fine. Oath of Nissa, yeah. Okay, so these Hushbringers are gonna be great again. Of course, I lead the video with, well, 4 colors on the downswing. Immediately play against 2/4 decks. Fury, okay. Are we casting Fury now too? No, that is not a bad one. That is one I do not mind drawing. Fine, just doing this. No attacks because it has 0 power. I know these are some elite line y'all are getting from me. All right, what you got, opponent? Okay, yeah, so this is actual element. This is gonna be a Risen Reef here, I would presume. Teferi, ew. All right, so that's fine. If they want to Fury pitch a card to kill the construct, fine with that. Honestly, this is kind of better because I didn't want to use all my mana on the Urza Saga, So now we get to go Stoneforge, go grab Kaldra. Okay, sure. So now we get to kill the Teferi and play Urza Saga, and yeah, this is great. Oh man, we could also not get Kaldra to incentivize them to not kill the Stoneforge, and go get something else. But that means the Steel Shaper's Gift has to resolve as well. So yes, we're absolutely looking. I don't hate Shadow. Yeah, a Spear here. Pumps up the construct a little bit. Obviously, if they have another Fury, then they have another Fury, and that's fine. Okay, but now the construct doesn't die, and we got to use our mana more effectively. Obviously, we could reanimate the Ink Moth in response to them ticking down on the construct, but I don't know. Okay, so they grabbed Flooded Strand, played Flooded Strand. That's nice of them. That way I don't have track. Stoneforge down. Interesting. So we can play Drum. Is there a way we can do this while, like, where we can take out the N6 and construct? I don't think there is. So I think we're supposed to take out the Ren and 6 for sure. So play this. I'll fetch. Now they do have 4 card types, so they can kill regardless. Not gonna worry that. And I don't really like putting the hammer in quite yet. Yeah, I don't like putting in the hammer. I would rather wait. Okay, that's fine. Do they have Ephemeral? They do not. All right. And I think at this point I will just Steel Shapers. Yeah, so forcing them to pitch multiple cards. They pitched a second Fury to the Fury, and they pitched an Eladamri's Call. So question is, what are we supposed to get here? And I almost feel like at 5, but I can't imagine we'll get a Kaldra here. So I guess the consideration, yeah, I'm getting. So they know about one hammer, but they do another one. Okay, so yeah, we force them to pitch cast Solitude, pitch cast Fury, pitching an Eladamri's Call and another Fury. We're in much better shape than I would expect, considering they've also had a Teferi and a Ren and 6 in play for what feels like the entire. Even though I know it's not, it feels like it. That doesn't feel good. Yori into hand. Okay, you got it. Okay, I will definitely make a construct here. Reason to care about animating the Ink Moth to plink in for 1. So the question is, what are we getting with the construct? It could be I'm gonna do that. Sure. Okay. So I don't hate getting a Ginger Brute here and just plinking in. Yeah, I really don't hate that. All right, yeah. Let's get them. Attack them, because I don't think we get much out of. I don't think we get much out of hitting the Ren, right? Because oh no, it goes to 4. Yeah, we just take the freaks. We know 1 card in hand is Yorion, and I will play this out. So this, I'm fine with playing 1 hammer, especially since they know about it. Now, a Paladin or an Aid are both just incredible draws. What a surprise. Equipping a hammer is good. Okay, so they got Ren and 6. They got the Flooded Strand back to their hand. They played the Flooded Strand. Fetch. Okay, what you got? We have 3 cards in hand. Black man. Interesting. Yo, I have what? Maybe they mistapped? I don't understand. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, just casting Yorion with black mana, sure. So they bounce that, bounce that, bounce that. Oh, yeah, okay, so keep the Ren around. Okay, interesting. So they get to draw effectively 2 cards, which is not bad, but we shall see if it's good enough. Omnath's a real good one. I will give them that deck. So we probably just... So if we put the Shadow Spear on the construct, we attack construct. I think we have to take out the Ren. Yeah, so I like equipping the construct here, and then we can crack in the Ren. And we're gonna play the Stoneforge post. So probably throwing the Yorion under the bus, but I'm okay with that. Oh my god. Gross. Okay, so all right, not great. Yeah, let's play this. Let's go get a Kaldra, and we just pass the turn here. Like, we're still very much alive. 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 mana currently. Omnathing here, which at least they don't have Risen Reef to lead with. Sure. Okay. What else you got? Yeah, you got it. Gain your stupid 4 life. Generate your stupid 4 mana. Yeah, get your Boseiju back. This is totally reasonable. Maybe they'll punt. That's always like a pretty good plan. Yeah. Generate your mana. Just casting Endurance. Okay. Yeah. You got it. Okay, so sounds like they don't have a removal spell for the Stoneforge. All right, get a Kaldra. Probably activate this. Fine. And then probably put the Shadow Spear here. I'm good with that. This way we don't have to shock either. And once again, like, we're not attacking them because next turn they can just gain minimum 4 life. Here they can eat the Shadow Spear, of course. Difference. Okay. So which one do I care more about? I think I care more about them potentially rebuying the Yorion. So I'm stacking it like this because this way the Yorion gets exiled. So this will die to normal combat damage, and this will have, sure, okay. Yes, I will search. I was trying to think, like, even if they emblem here, it might not be enough to win, which is wild. Yeah, play this tapped. I mean, we can just move Cauldra too. All right, yeah. Yeah, so the only things they can, if they Remblem, then they can get like Lightning Bolt and Holy Heat, which are good cards, admittedly. I guess they can get Prismatic Ending too, which is gross. We need to address that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, if we had also moved that there. All right, yeah. I don't hate this. Just, oh, cool. Didn't think we'd get that far, totally honest. Yeah, hit Ren in 6, because I hope they Boseiju the Ornithopter. Do they have Solitude here? Discuss. It looks like it. Okay. Yeah, alright. Play this. What a jerk. And I might just concede here. We'll see what they do. No reason. I respect that. I respect sending a message. No attack. So they got the Ren emblem. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty locked out here. I am content because they can just, sure. All right, move on with my day. Let's go to game 2. Good news is board. So those 9 for sure. And then we can cut the gift, 2 Sentinel Drum, a Mantle, 3 of those. Keep like 1/0 in there. I don't hate that. Keeping 1 Sentinel instead though. Yeah, on the place a lot better. On the draw we can cut a Sentinel. Maybe we do cut the Sentinel or a Needle naming Boseiju. We'll do this because they have a lot of answers to the Needle anyway. They can bounce it with Teferi. They can bounce it with Teferi. They can play Prismatic Ending. So it's not a ton, but it is enough to make. We will be on the play. And yeah, this is a great hand. We get to go turn 1 Drum, turn 2 Hushbringer hold up skill because I don't see a world where they're blowing up the drum, but you know, what do I know? Are they? Oh my, what is happening? Sure. Yeah, you got it. Still just doing this. That's wild. That's so wild that's okay, I don't understand anything. Do they just have like 4 more Prismatic Endings in their hand? I'm so confused. Don't like this. Do they just have another Prismatic Ending? Probably. Could have just a Bolt for this as well. All right, land please. 1 time. Oh my gosh. All right, well, this is how we're gonna try to win. So, they had 2 1-mana pieces of interaction. They killed the drum, which my mind is thoroughly blown. So we are going to grab a Ginger Brute, Colossus Hammer, and hope it works. Hold up this Blacksmith skill. Do they also just like, did they go 1-mana removal into 1-mana removal into Teferi? If they do, then the game, okay, it's Risen Reef. That's fine. Like, I'm not happy about it, but it could be much worse. Okay. If we hit a land, then I think we've got it covered. We shall see. Well, we're floating a mana for sure. Brute. I think I kind of have to make them have it right now, because if they get to untap, it gets so much worse for us, and the single Blacksmith skill might not even do the trick. So yeah. I mean, so, like, if they go Omnath, I think we can just, you know what? Yeah, because they can go Boseiju. You know what? Let's just hold up. I think we can win. I think we can just wait. Like, even if they just, like, Boseiju the Colossus Hammer, right? Then we just throw another Colossus Hammer in and win. Because we can always draw another land. Man, what a brutal start. Like, they had okay, Prismatic Ending into Unholy Heat on the drum and the Hushbringer. All right, so what are we hitting? Yeah, no, can't let that happen. That's fine. Trying to find a burn spell, I would imagine. Okay, they didn't. Okay, did we do the thing? We might have done the thing. It's a lot of keywords. Really? Or not? All right, fair enough. Deck! Yes! All right, deck. You know what? They had good draws. We get good draws, too. I respect that. Oh, okay. They wanted to make sure I activated the ability. I'm kind of a fan. Yeah, I think we can. How many creatures do we have? We still have 21 creatures because of the Hushbringers and the Renegades. Wow, they just blew up the drum. I am shook right now. All right, this hand, I think is better than it looks, but I think it's still a trap. This hand is a lot better, and I think we're going to throw this because I want the mana and I want the protection. Yeah, this is great. I'll take an 8. Oh, sure, another 1-drop. Yeah, so now we get to go turn to Saga Stoneforge, assuming they don't have the removal spell, which when given the opportunity to have the removal. They didn't have the removal spell. They should have listened to my advice about just have the Unholy Heat. Maybe they're just like, I don't. I'm too good. You got it, Windswept Heath. So the problem is I don't want to Urza's Saga here, because if they just go to Fairy bounce it, it's so bad for me. I would much rather just go plain Stoneforge, and get Kaldra. Could also get a hammer since we have the Paladin, but this feels very Besaju-y to me. Honestly, we probably do. Yeah. Because we have the Equipper in hand and multiple protection spells for the hammer, I'm kind of, I'm much more on board. Yeah, so I can't imagine after kind of seeing as much of their deck as we have that they have Counterspell. And so I am very much inclined to probably getting a Fury. And they're gonna Fury Pitchcast. That'd be my guess. Omnath. Okay. Do you have? I would not mind drawing. I know I'm making wise comments. I wouldn't hate drawing my best sideboard. To Fairy. Okay, that's fine. That's why we didn't play the Saga. I'm gonna pro here. I'm gonna pro white because if they Pitchcast Fury here to kill the Stoneforge, I'm fine with that. But Solitude I think is just much more likely. Yeah. And so this turn we get to go. We attack the Teferi down. Attack Teferi down. Ooh. Okay, well, let's start with the easy part, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, now we'll play Giver of Runes and Urza's Saga. And I'm over here, I'm like, do we just go Hammer here? Got Omnath. I don't hate playing the Hammer proactively, because I think our mana is going to be a little bit choked. All right. Green, white, blue, red. Yep, that's Omnath mana. Fury. Okay. 2/2. So I'll protect the Giver here. Yeah, because I don't. Do you have another removal spell? It's pretty gross, but okay. Pitch the Omnath. Okay. Yeah, you got it. Not much I could do about that. It's fine. We're actually not in bad shape. You're into hand. Okay. I'll take it. Giver here. I mean, if they want to ephemerate the Fury that burn, or they just get nothing out of it, which, so our line here is we can go Giver, make a construct, make a construct, hold up Blacksmith skill, or kind of like we're supposed to do. Okay. And so depending on what our opponent does, we might get another hammer. It really depends. Yeah, so they didn't cast the ephemerate. All right, yeah. I'll take 6 points of damage. No, just take the 6, keep it simple. Make a dude. Okay. So are we making another dude is the question, right? They have access to. I feel like we are not supposed to make a dude. I feel like we are supposed to go get a Ginger Brute, suit up the Ginger Brute. We could also go get a drum, which seems pretty good. And then we still kind of put him under pressure. Make a dude. Yeah. I do in fact like this. Go get a Plains. Like, this is still lethal, so who cares? What you got for me, opponent? Casting Solitude? That's what it looks like. Yeah, absolutely. Let's tap the Palette. Okay. They do get to block, which is annoying, but that's fine. That means this thing does not stick around post Yorion. Okay, so gain 3 here, 14. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to move this to the Paladin, because I do not want the Paladin to die. And Fury getting blinked by a Yorion is a really good way for that. So if they attack, I think I will block. Yeah, if we are able to keep that Hushbringer in play. Draw Hushbringer. This was last game. These games against 4 color just go so long. I don't even know what game we're in. I think we're in game 3. Sounds right. Land for turn. So Risen Wraith, that's a pretty good one. Nice, just goes to their hand. I would not mind a Stoneforge Mystic either, obviously. Stoneforge Mystic or any equipment, because that's the same thing, basically. I was like, I'll block that Fury. I'll snap that Fury. That's not what we want. So we just crack in with all 3. Kind of like it. Yeah, I don't think it's getting better for us. All right, well, it just got a lot worse. All right, we needed another Blacksmith skill, or any equipment would have done it too, right? Okay, so they take 6 here. We'll play out. They have Yorion in hand. Oh, so yeah, I mean, I'll play out both Givers. Stoneforge still a really good draw. We shall see what they do. So they attack for 3. I think we just take, or attack for 6, obviously. Yeah, so we just take it. They're probably gonna play the Yorion here, blink both of those, and then we need some very good draws off. Maybe the attack with the Paladin was bad. Maybe we're supposed to just suit it up, but like they could have easily just had like a what's it called, like an Unholy Heat or something to kill the Paladin instead. Yeah, so now they get to draw a minimum of 2 cards, and they kill probably the Givers, would be my guess. That's probably what they should kill. All right. Yeah, givers. So maybe I'm just supposed to play out one giver. Maybe that's what it is. Well, at least they Stoneforge. Moth is Forge, but it's not bad either. So I will just pass the turn. We could potentially trade off. Maybe they have nothing. Maybe they have nothing, right? We can dream. Because if they attack with everything, we animate the Ink Moth, block, Fairy. If they go to Fairy, I'm incredibly dead. I guess not. Okay, cracking the Rainforest first. Okay, so these are forced blocks. I can't beat a Renin 6 anyway, so I am just going to, yeah, we'll block here. I think we double block. Then we animate. Like, I can't beat them drawing spells, so I'm not gonna try. Like, if they draw Renin 6, obviously they can just ping us to kill us, but Renin 6 sticking means they're also getting to Besieger us every turn too, so I can't imagine a world in which we're winning there. Solitude? They had a thing, so I'm pretty sure. So plink that. We do get that one sweet. We're dead. We can't. There's no. So that was close. That was a very close one against 4-color. A couple different draws. Maybe I am supposed to just play out the single giver. I don't know if playing out the single giver does that much though. We'll see. And then yeah, but I'll see y'all for round 5. Actual round 5. All right, we are back for the 5th round, the finale. Let's see if we can. We've won a lot of die rolls, which is crazy, but I'll take it. Oh man. I'm gonna keep this hand. And I'm gonna lead with Esper Sentinel because we saw Kahira. That tells me it's either 60 card elementals, but it's more likely 4-color control, or blue-white control with no Snapcaster Mage. So I'm just gonna play out this, and I will play out the Memnite. And then next turn, if we hit a land, we'll go Stoneforge. If we don't hit a land, we'll just go Sigard's Aid. The Esper Sentinel is very likely to draw us a card. Okay, it looks like blue-white control to me. Oh, okay, for 0. Cool. You got it. So they have a second Chalice is what I'm smelling here. All right, hit them for 2. Blue-white control is an interesting matchup. If we had hit a land there, like, obviously things get really, really nuts really fast. But I'm fine with this too. So if they want a Chalice on 1, okay, sure. Yeah, so they're killing that so they can cast, okay, what? So they just don't have a second land? Are you kidding? What? Okay. Well, let's attack, I guess. I didn't think I'd get this far. Yeah. And guess we'll go get a hammer here. We could also get a reality chip. Reality chip seems real good on this board. Yeah, I like it. The reason I don't go for that there is because if they kill my thing, then I just have nothing going on. Whereas this gives me a lot more time. So they have mana now, like, but what do they want to do? Okay. Sure. So I like, I think I like attacking with the Memnite and throwing a hammer on it. And if they want to use a counterspell on that, I'm fine with it. If they don't use a counterspell on it, I have Blacksmith skill up for protection. I should have attacked with the Stoneforge too, though, for sure. All right, put it here. Yeah, because that'd be an extra point of damage. It would put them to, let's see, so 11, 12. So it would put them to 3. To be fair, not a huge difference. So if they go like land 3 to Fairy, I will respond by Blacksmith skilling. I am very tempted to just Blacksmith skill the land, keep them from drawing a card. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, no card free, because obviously they're trying to find. Okay, so we get to freely go to this way. If they Archmage charm them, okay, I will pass priority. March, sure. I think I'm going to. I don't think I do. Yeah, I do think I'm gonna. Okay, do you have counterspell? I'll put a Shadow Spear on. Turn it into a 2-turn clock, and now yeah. So now they are dead. They have to address the Stoneforge. They kept a 1-land hand. That's wild. 4-color or blue-white control. Keep it a 1-land hand. That is ambitious. Okay, so what do you have for me? Do you have a Supreme Verdict? That'd be good. Shark Typhoon for 1. Sure. This has Trample. I think they just realized it had Trample. They were probably trying to find like a March or something. Okay. So Teferi, very good. Stops their counter spells, bounces their chalices. I like bringing in at least 1 March. It answers the chalices. Sometimes they have some very specific permanents that you want to get rid of. Spell Pierce is insane. Needle I like for Teferi. And I kind of like 1 more Blacksmith skill. The cards I don't like are all of the Ornithopters. Those can get, especially when I know they don't have Snapcaster Mage. Just doesn't do anything. Steel Shaper's Gift. I'm not huge on like Paradise Mantle's actually not durable because it does draw a card, but we're definitely trimming at least one drum, probably just two, and then kind of going from there. I mean, this looks pretty good to me. Obviously they do have a lot of ways to deal with the Cauldron, but it is another threat, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, Esper Sentinel is insane because they don't have Ren and 6 to just blink it off. Gingerbrute and Memnite are both good. Memnite, I mean, but yeah, this seems fine to me. Yeah, that was a one land hand I was fine keeping just because we had so many pieces, so much action. I did keep a one lander last game, but I'm not going to keep a 0 land. Throw it back. Another 0 lander, but we have a 7 drop this time, so you know, at least there's that. Okay, another 0 lander. I guess we'll keep that. I mean, all right, bottom one of those. That we bottom the ink moth. Yeah, with that. And I think we are going to hold up the Pierce because we cannot beat a Chalice of the Void on 1 this game. Okay, well, at least they mulligan to 6. Makes me feel better. You got it. And just praying for a land here. All right, end step, fetch. Land, colored source. Ah, gross. All right. Just pass the turn here. Yeah, because they didn't play Chalice, but we can't, like, we need to beat the Teferi too. Like, it'll just shut off the Spell Pierce, so we need to get one card out of this Spell Pierce. Okay, or nothing. This, nah, we're just gonna, no drawing cards, honestly. And I think I do get my life total does not. All right, well, I hope the mulligan decisions everyone was lined up on. What was putting back was interesting, but I liked it. Primarily because like the Ink Moth doesn't do much for us because it was all just colored mana pips in our spells. But what we got? Okay. Wow. Okay, so they kept a 1-lander or a 2-lander. Wow, okay, sure. So I'm going to, and I think I'm just going to play 2 more Esper Sentinels. This has been a weird game. Now if they play Chalice on 1, like, it sucks, but it's not as bad for me because we get to draw like 3 cards at least. I'm assuming they don't have the Chalice on 1. I have no idea what they kept. I have no idea what they kept because there's no, like, they would have played Chalice on 1, presumably by, yeah, attack for 3 points of damage. I guess we play a Giver. Yeah, whatever. Play Giver, play Aid. All right. I'm so confused. What? All right. I will attack for 3. I don't tapping the Giver. Yeah, play that. All right. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I hold up the mana in the early turns because we need to beat the Chalice on 1 and we also need to beat a Teferi on 3. But none of those things happened. And so I don't know what their keep was. Like, we countered the Fire Ice because they were clearly stranded on land and we kind of wanted to get our mana out anyway. I kind of like all those. Blacksmith Skilling in response to Ice. That's a gentleman's agreement to just discard a card. Okay, so Evoke will happen. I mean, I'll hit that. Pro Blue. I'm so confused. You got it. Attack for 3 points of damage. I mean, I'm just going to play this Memnite. If they want to counter it, that's fine. But yeah, see, Memnite, too powerful. Now it's a 2-turn clock. I will have you know that these 4 1/1 creatures present a 2-turn clock. I'm so confused. Like, just because they didn't even put Kahira into their hand last turn, so they can pay for 1 of them. We still get a card. All right, you killed 1 of my Sentinels. Okay, there we go. Is there any, I mean, we can, and I'll just put it on the Memnite. Yeah, okay, cool. So, let me pull up the deck. There you go, proof real quick. Actual 4-1, even though you saw it. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. Chip's really good. Cauldron's really good. Shadow Spear's real good. Hammer's best card in mod. There's so many numbers on. If you add up all the numbers, it's 18, 28, 20. That's so many numbers. It's 29 in numbers. No, but in all seriousness, I haven't hated the Ornithopters kind of over the Memnites. It's felt fine even versus blue-red. Like, the matchups, I think, still just quite favorable. I kind of like the 1 gift. You can add a second one if you want and trim a blacksmith skill. I kept running into more and more cards where, like, I wanted additional pieces in the sideboard. Like, okay, you know, I want the Lavinias and the Tef, and also I want at least 2 Spell Pierce, and I also want 3 Hushbringers. So bringing the blacksmith skills into the main wasn't really saying, hey, I think that blacksmith skill is good in the main. It was more, I need 17 sideboard cards, and blacksmith skill is the easiest one to bring into main. In a vacuum, I like Spell Pierce more in the main because I think it covers more kind of things. But because game one, I liked being able to just fetch basic planes very aggressively. I'm a huge fan of Blacksmith Skill because the only blue spell in the main is Reality Chip. I like the Hollowed Fountain, the third Hollowed Fountain. That way you're on 7 fetchables in the 4 planes and the 3 Hollowed Fountains and the 7 fetches. Plus, you never really run into the issue of Seachrome Coast coming in tapped late because you only have 1 in the deck. Other than that, yeah, I mean, the deck's pretty solid. No reason to break something if it's working. If y'all want to see me kind of break down the footage of my, I think it was 2 matches on camera from the NRG, then I'm happy to do that. But otherwise, super happy with the list. Would fully endorse it. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. And I hope y'all have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to continue supporting me in other ways, the Patreon links will be in the description, of course. But hope y'all have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.